wants to talk about it, or I'll just continue yapping about random stuff. Oh, Polis, I'll tell you something really interesting. Yesterday, Chip was like, I have this laptop. It's a really bad laptop, but I still want to play video games. And I was like, I actually know a service that can stream your games for you. And Chip is probably going to play games soon, just because I'm gonna make him play games, but not really.
You need a PC, my guy.
You actually don't need a PC. My friend is playing games like Witcher 3 on his phone.
Yeah, but Witcher 3 is old game.
But still, playing Witcher on your phone, that's crazy. Anyway, yeah, so there are services like that, which is crazy fun.
That's cool.
Oh my. Yeah,
If you have a high-end GPU,
you don't
maybe
need
then, yeah.
you
And
don't need
processor.
that. You don't need that.
For a proper gaming laptop, you need that.
You
They
can-
all have RTX.
Wait, how is my friend playing
CPU.
Witcher 3 on his phone?
Let's move on to literally any other conversation, please.
I bet you can get PC for cheaper.
Accuracy, overclocking, it flies faster. Accuracy is better, I think. This one.
Yeah.
Nothing going on. So many plant right activists post. I don't know what to do with myself.
Call me. I'll destroy their activism, unfortunately.
Yesterday was crazy, hella crazy.
Felix, I
That
was
was fun.
thinking, maybe we should do like an event where one of us kind of gives a presentation on what veganism is, why we're vegan and stuff like that. But like an actual event, like where everybody's like muted and, they can like listen in and stuff like that. And then go into like debate mode with other people, like with the people who watched the presentation. What do you think about that?
Well, like maybe like to work out the kinks of that, like it could be where it's a one-on-one debate for like maybe 30 minutes to an hour, and then other people can like after that hour, other people can jump in with their questions that have to be a part of the conversation.
Yeah.
Or else it's like they get back to being muted.
Not sure I understood then.
Well, yeah, because you would have to be like first it would be one-on-one for the first hour, right?
No,
like
I meant
there would
like
be a one-on-one.
I meant like doing a presentation. Like what comes afterwards is like malleable. I don't care. But like
I
doing a
think even if
presentation
it's-
on what veganism is, why people are vegan, why people should go vegan.
I think that would work if like the events were quite big. Usually when we create an event, there's only like 10 people who join or who are like constantly in the VC. But if you want to create like a big one,
Yeah.
I'm not sure how. That's all.
Well, yeah, okay.
'Cause-
So the technical issues.
Getting people is the issue. Because
Okay,
not many
but-
people listen to the events and stuff like that.
But what do you think of the idea?
Sounds good.
Yeah, okay. Let's mull it over. Let's see if we can ask this Dingus Kitty if he would try to make such a thing, and then one of us can make a presentation.
I'm pretty bad with stuff like that.
Yeah, I kind of assume it would fall on me, which I hate. Sounds like a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Maybe
I
Dao.
usually like to explain to people things really quick and for them to ask me a lot of questions right after. That's kind of how I work with
Yeah,
stuff
but
like that.
Yeah, I know, but it's just like so multifactorial usually. yeah, things repeat themselves, but it's multifactorial, right? People have a lot of technical or moral issues, right? So you know, it's a thing I'm thinking about. But yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. All right. Who's not vegan? Except for Leo. Emeronin, are you vegan?
Where are you?
Okay, if anybody does decide to talk, I promise that I will not support the conversation so you feel like you're being barraged.
I'm just gonna bite someone's ankles.
I think
Grr.
it gets spicy, Axel.
Well, if it were somebody who was confident in like talking, you know, like then I would, but like it seems like nobody here is confident who is not vegan, so
Okay.
But for now, we're just kind of chilling.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I'm hot as fuck. I've been outside. Jesus Christ.
Get a
It's like-
fan or something.
It's like burn fire. At this point, I'm like, people, go vegan for yourselves, right? Like, I know all the people are like, fuck animals, who gives a shit? But go vegan for yourselves, so that it's not so fucking hot all the
But
fucking time.
People would say like, if I go vegan, then it doesn't make me feel good because people around me, therefore whatever. So it's just people are selfish. Gotta be careful with stuff like that.
well, you know, like at least go plant-based, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
If you really if you don't have like morals that align with veganism, like I guess you don't have morals that align with veganism, but at least go plant-based. Like
Yeah, that's
It's
what I
more the-
meant. I used the wrong word. You're right. Oh no, am I even
You
vegan?
can still eat candy if you're vegan.
Sorry?
There is vegan candy.
Yeah. You can
Yeah,
eat candy if you're vegan.
There is vegan candy.
There's
yeah.
vegan candy, there's shitload of vegan candy. What the fuck are you talking about? Most candy is just like melted sugar.
Yeah.
Yeah, sugar is fucking vegan.
Yeah. So
hold on.
I know there's an argument that was made that cane sugar, that vegans shouldn't support cane sugar
Well, because
what's the reason behind that?
because there's something to do with like burning.
bone char.
Not exactly bone char. There was something to do with like burning cane plants that can be very bad in terms of like same thing with palm oil.
Oh,
the
well, that's not
argument
that's an environmental issue. That's
Yeah.
not like a that's not a vegan issue.
Yeah, and I couldn't
Yeah.
find any fucking conversation about bone char anywhere except on vegan blogs. So that just sounds like a thing that used to be true and not true anymore, or something like that.
Yeah.
Yes, it's
Somebody-
not a vegan issue, it's an environmental issue. Yeah. just-
Yeah. Some people told me that like I used to believe the palm oil argument
Yeah.
for a long time until I found out that like it's more of an environmental issue than it is
Still an issue, but you know.
yeah.
And the thing with the monkeys, I think like only one place, like one company or something like that uses monkeys. Because I talked to like my Indian friend and he said like, oh, that was about coconuts. He said he talked to like coconut farmers and apparently coconuts are like very extensively farmed in India. And they were like, what the fuck are you talking about? What monkeys? We have like sticks and like machinery and shit like that. So it's again one of those things. Sometimes vegans spread propaganda. It happens. It's fine.
Oh, they get led by propaganda.
Growing.
Yeah. True. And then they spread it. Is the point.
I remember that there was definitely an issue with like monkeys and coconuts, because there was a company that was selling basically selling you different ingredients where you can make your own meal at home or whatever the hell it was called.
Mm-hmm.
And it was investigated that they did in fact use like monkey-based coconuts because they were like among the cheapest ones. So there is definitely issues like that. It's just fuck.
Just oh shit. Yeah, I don't know. I'm it's like one company, right?
Yeah.
It's not like coconuts not vegan all of a sudden or whatever. Like if tomatoes are vegan, coconuts are also vegan.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to talk, since we're talking amongst other vegans. So just because a vegan is a bigot in another like issue, like let's say a homophobe, like a vegan can be a homophobe. That doesn't make them not a vegan. What do you guys think?
Yeah. It depends on the definition of veganism, I suppose.
Just run an NTT on them.
Listen, I have a screenshot of a literal fucking like vegan Nazi who's on Twitter and who argued with me in the past that Hitler was actually like greatly misunderstood. He was such a great guy. And I was like, dude, I'm like third generation Jew. Don't talk to me like that, you know?
Jesus.
So are you Jewish yourself?
Yeah. I'm technically like fourth generation, but it's still considered third somehow. Like my grandparents got shot and they are buried in some mass grave somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever like?
Do you have? I don't want to derail this too much, but like, do you have any opinions on the Palestinian-Israel thing?
I don't know. Into fucking politics, please.
Yeah.
Well,
honestly, I have no idea about that, dude. It's like...
Germany, bro. Germany.
All I can say is that I'm pro-Israel, but I still think they could handle it better. That's all I'm gonna say.
The biggest issue right now is just killing civilians. Many people are saying, well, what about the utility of killing civilians? Which is just, bro, like, what the fuck?
That's war. It's a casualty of war.
Yeah, but when people talk like about people like statistics, it's kind of fucked. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, Tone, I don't know. Maybe I should deafen this conversation. I'm not sure.
Always just counter. What about the people that are using those people as human shields? You know, like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I wanna. Like, I don't know. I've been staying away from politics. I don't know, Tone. I don't know if I should be part of this. Let's see if they continue.
I'm gonna fucking steal you, and that's fucked.
Yeah, the thing that I love so much, like the movie that I love so much that touches on the whole, like, Palestine and, like, Israel war is, like, a comedy show, or, like, a
Is there
comedy.
movies about that?
Yeah, like Zohan. You don't mess with the Zohan. That involves with the Israel-Palestinian war.
Bro, I want to see that movie.
I actually wanted to ask quickly, Post.
Yeah.
You know how sometimes you can find like people from World War II, like when they went to concentration camps and stuff like that. Did you ever try to look for any like relatives?
I don't think, as far as I know, I don't think I have had relatives in concentration camps. I think they were just like shot and only my grandpa remained.
I see. Yeah, because I know that many people also say like when it comes to some people, there is statistics about them, but the others are just like, throwing away and stuff.
Also, I'm just like not really into families altogether. Like even the
Sorry.
family that I do have, I'm like, okay, guys, see you once in a while. Thank you. I don't know. I'm just
Okay.
a loner weirdo, so
I get you.
So 1872 477. What's up? Okay, never mind.
Oh yeah, so
Felix, you have
Val,
some
you're,
background noise that is like.
oh shit.
Bro has a windmill on his backyard.
I think it was driving.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Oh, that was
it's all
wow.
good.
That was you, as usual. First it sips, then it's like horrific
Yeah,
background noise.
it's always me. I always like don't mute myself.
Val is
Even
just
when I-
such an
Yeah,
Val is
it's-
such an interesting person. He is always doing something. He is never not doing.
Yeah, like washing. Actually, I feel kind of like lazy if I'm on Discord and I just sit there and don't do anything. I just thinking. I was just talking like for 3 hours. I could have taken a walk or been in the gym or washing the dishes.
Mm.
Yeah,
Dude,
it's always hard to do like.
Val is like somebody I need to learn from.
Mm.
Hey Val, got a question. How familiar are you with the cognitive dissonance theory?
Yeah, I studied psychology. I know.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, there are two theories. I don't know. I think the other one is like self-perception theory. I think
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
like
yeah.
basically the flip side of cognitive dissonance. That's all that I. Yeah, but I'm somewhat familiar with it. Yeah.
Yeah, so because I have like a personal hypothesis within the theory. I'm writing a script on cognitive dissonance for my channel. It's almost
Yeah.
done, but I don't know if I should include this because I'm a dumbass, right? But I think I have a pretty cool hypothesis that like expands a little bit on cognitive dissonance, but I would want to run it with someone, you know what I mean? Who like is not a dumbass, who actually learned this stuff.
Yeah.
Okay,
Right, bro.
I would appreciate that at some point.
Yeah, I think actually both theories may be important actually, and I would actually argue that the self-perception thing is also very important because it says that behavior actually also drives in important ways our attitudes. It's basically why this like post hoc rationalization actually happens. You
Yeah.
do certain things and then you infer based on these behaviors why you have certain attitudes.
Well,
It's like,
although like cognitive dissonance does account for the post hoc, with the effort justification part of the theory. Was it effort justification? Yeah, something like that. Effort justification. So like. It does account for post hoc. So when I read about the competing theory, I was like, well, so what are you adding actually? Like, I don't know.
yeah, I think it's about, I believe, the directionality, I believe, right?
Yeah.
I think in the cognitive dissonance theory, it stipulates that it starts with cognition, I believe, or with attitudes. I believe. I haven't. I was at the uni like 2 years ago. So yeah, but I think it's about like the with like what's the factor? Like what's the factor of origin? You could say. What does it start? And I think it can start with both. I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very dynamic, anyways. Not like even in therapy, it's now like commonly understood that it's not just like you're thinking, but it's like all interconnected in important ways.
In
Also
behavior.
behavior, feelings as well. Yeah. It's not just like not just your attitudes, but like also your behaviors, of course.
Yeah. Yeah. So
But
I would
I
love.
would obviously need to look into it again. Yeah.
Oh, I have
I would
a
need to
like
refresh.
a really good summary of it that I stole from the U.S. government, and I have no rights to use it, but I do it anyways. I can send it to you if you want. It's like only a few pages, so it gives like an overview of Cogdish. So give me a second, I'll do it. I'll send it to you. Oh, fuck. Cogdish. Intro. Should I download it or can I send it? I'll download it. Oh, what am I doing? Download it. There you go. Anybody not vegan in the chat? Nothing. Nobody. God damn it.
Just gotta wait.
We're all just a bunch of people that want to talk to each other.
I don't mind.
You know, I don't either. I'm good to frustrate myself. I'm good to. Anyway, you were talking about psychology. I've also studied psychology. More as a hobby than a practice. I do quite a bit of things for hobbies. Like I studied zoology for hobbies. I've studied psychology for hobbies.
Shit.
The main thing that I touch on is the psychology of drug use. That's probably the main thing that I use, and then manipulation is the second thing.
Give us a little bit
touched
like a mini TED talk about manipulation.
Okay.
So so that you know, I'm live on my channel, so it's gonna be on my channel if you don't mind.
Yeah. No, you're fine.
Yeah.
Manipulation stems from communication, right? It's like, from what I understand, is when it comes to communication, there comes complications, right? Like communication to social species is already inherently difficult, right? That's why there's not a huge amount of highly social creatures. Like a lot of creatures, and then I would say tribal species where we are tribal species, we have the hardest time to, we are trying to become more herd-like, more community-based, where we are inherently, we have our tight groups that we're supposed to be together with.
Mm-hmm.
And we, that's what our natural status is. But now we're trying to integrate with everybody as a whole, especially with social media. But like just making it worse because now we have more people to talk to. But even before that, like with religion, we needed people to follow us, right? We needed people to agree with us. So that's where like manipulation stems from, is to gain people to join our tribe, right?
Yeah.
In hindsight, because we stopped being tribe people. So that's we needed people to associate with us, so we stemmed to manipulation and like mind games to get people to immediately believe or follow or obey like what we want them to.
Is this like Evo Psych a little bit, like evolutionary psychology? Actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just FYI, I put very little credence into evolutionary psychology, a little bit. But no,
Yeah,
continue,
it-
please. I would love to hear more.
Well, like, so the thing that I have issue with manipulation is like the theory behind it. Like, it sounds like it could be an effective use, but it is still highly ineffective communication. Because people don't, like, eventually, people stop listening to manipulation. For example, like religion. Eventually, people start to see the reality of outside of the manipulation, you know, to say, oh, this person says we are able to do X because of X. You like, eventually people are going to be like, well, this is shitty fucking shit to do. What do you mean that we have to do it? There is no have to do anything on this planet. And eventually people catch on to that. So manipulation as a whole is super inefficient because it doesn't actually, like, if we were to stem from like reality on the first place and we were to give people individuality, we would have naturally found people that we associate with inherently because it's in our DNA, to want to be associated with others. However, with manipulation, it was a more immediate way to get people to align with our beliefs, but long term, it's not efficient, and that's where like us as vegans get so frustrated with manipulation, because it's like we definitely stem from more of a realistic basis that we acknowledge that, you know, sure, you're right, morality is subjective, but what is your subjective stance? And then they stem to manipulation immediately after, and it's like, dude, you don't have to go that route. We're just asking what you want.
I wish there was more evidence for like the meat industry's manipulation. One day I'm gonna create like a file or a video or something where I go through everything that we know, because like ads are part. Like sometimes people like for real just like regurgitate ads to me, right? So commercials, right? So I think that's part of a manipulation. But I wish we had like more hackers on our hands. To get like emails and shit, you know, like the illegal stuff. I wish we weren't so fucking moral that we don't like break the law as much as we should. Probably.
Well, that's kind of where I think that like I'm kind of in favor of like if it were possible to and we weren't to be eradicated like in the first day or so, like if it were possible for like vegans to actually grow their own military and just start to, you know, by force make people go vegan, you know, if there was no other option, I would be in favor of it. But in practicability, like if it were practical, like, and we weren't to be killed, like going against the U.S. government or, you know, going against any government, we would be demolished within days.
Yeah.
Like, we wouldn't win. Like,
I don't know, like, okay, so I have a few reservations about this. First of all, you'd need to have like a substantial amount of population on your side. And second,
Right.
like, leftists are more likely to become vegan than right-wing people, and leftists are less likely to be in the military, right, than right-wing people.
Right.
I think, right? I'm making a claim, maybe I'm wrong. It just seems to be true.
yeah, no, go ahead and state your opinion. I don't have
Yeah. And then like it's not out of the realm of morality to go to war over this issue, because like a war was fought over slavery, so why wouldn't we fight over this modern slavery, this animal slavery?
Right, exactly.
Yeah, but like I really hope we can avoid it though.
Yeah, and I think that we would have to, like, if it were to go that route, no matter what, we would have to get a government on board.
Yeah.
There would have to be a government to support us. If we were to just solely go based on our community, like I said, we would be eradicated within a day or days. Like if there is so many other military, like there is so many other armies that are out there. Like the cartels have their own little army, the gangs have their own little army. You know, if we were to, we would be just basically a gang at that point.
Yeah. Oh, bruh.
And-
Axel, you want to be in my gang?
Fuck yeah, dude.
Fuck yeah.
We're gonna be the vegan mob.
Right. Tara, wanna talk to us? You have a mic.
I think they talked yesterday.
Yeah. Was
It could be a different person.
Oh, there was a white cat person, but I don't think their name was Tara.
No, I actually like I'm actually new to the chat and I'm listening.
Okay.
Alright.
Do you have any questions about veganism?
I'm actually not vegan, I'm a meat eater and all of this stuff.
Yeah, why are you not vegan?
Well, because like it is hard for me.
It's hard for you. This means, sorry, Felix, it's hard for you. This means that you've actually made the commitment once and tried it.
No, but
Yeah.
you know.
So
I'm
how
not
do you
in
know
a
it's
ru-
hard for you if you haven't even tried it?
Because I can see it.
Let's see.
Okay.
I mean, you haven't like probably you haven't like climbed the Everest mountain, but you know it's hard.
So what's hard about it? Can you tell us? What do you?
Well,
Yeah, go on, Philip.
I kind of want to use these analogies. No, I didn't climb a mountain, but I like the Mount Everest, but I can climb other mountains, which are much more smaller, and I can try to do these things, right? So when it comes to veganism, first of all, we have to kind of understand what it is. Do you know what veganism is?
Yeah, it's like not eating meat and like meat product, like milk and all of this stuff. Yeah, that's it.
So veganism is a little bit more than that. Do you know why people like vegan don't choose to go to zoos, don't buy leather, don't buy honey, don't buy wool, don't buy gelatin? Do you know why vegans choose not to do that?
Well, in my opinion, you guys have no problem, so you guys make problems for yourselves. Like, this is not a problem, man. Eat whatever you want, drink whatever you want,
Hold on.
but you just make a problem for yourself.
Hold on.
I asked you
Hold
a
on.
question. I asked only one question. Like, why do you think vegans don't do that? I understand you have a lot of frustrations about vegans not wanting to abuse animals, but do you know why vegans choose not to abuse animals?
I just said you guys have no problem, so you make problem for yourself.
Wait,
So you're
what did I-
telling that like,
Hold on.
Jesus Christ.
What did I just say? What did I just say?
bro,
Why
You
do we
want-
create? Hold on. Hold on. Why do you think that we think it's a problem?
because you think like animals have rights and all of this stuff.
Okay,
Oh,
we're getting
Yeah.
somewhere. We're getting somewhere. Why do we think that animals should have rights?
well, first of all, I think animals have rights already. Like you see a
Okay.
dog have rights. But you see, like,
Right.
but
But
you
that's
know,
Um,
it's for the humanity, yo. You know, we gotta do
so
something.
but why would it be why would it be for humanity if dogs had rights?
So let's bring it down. Dogs are different from like a cow. I mean, I have never seen a person have like a pet cow.
I see.
Okay. Okay. Um,
Yeah.
so let's, but hold on. I'm gonna kind of concentrate it just a little bit more. I'm not even gonna argue yet. I'm gonna just concentrate it a little bit more. Why is it not okay to kick a dog, Tyra?
Because, come on, what do you mean? You wanna like go kick a dog? First of all, this
No,
against the law.
I'm at,
Second,
no. Why is it against the law?
come on, you're talking about morals now. You're
We're
talking
getting
about
somewhere.
morals.
Your mic is
We're
fucked.
yeah, you're getting somewhere. You're really getting somewhere. So, um, veganism is to tackle morals. But why do you think it is immoral to kick a dog? Why do you think it?
Because it's a fucking dog. I mean, what do you want to kick a
Yeah.
dog?
What?
Mercifully.
What? Hold on. No. I'm not saying I want to kick a dog. I'm asking you, why do you think it is immoral? Like, what does it do to the dog? What, like, does the, like, what? I'm not gonna help you try to put words in
Because
your
a
mouth.
dog is man's best friend, and you know you don't kick your best friend.
Wait, if the
Like,
dog
but
wasn't
why?
a man's best friend, it would be okay to kick dogs?
Come on, you're just changing the
No. I'm
reality.
asking. You made the claim, right? The claim was, well, we don't kick dogs because they are our best friends. If dogs weren't our best friends, right? I'm changing the hypothetical, right, to see if you are morally consistent. So if dogs weren't our best friends, would it be okay to kick dogs?
I mean, you gotta think about it.
No. I'm against both. I'm just asking you what your morality says.
No, of course it's not okay to
Then
kick a
you-
dog, and of course it's not okay to
Yeah.
kill a fucking animal and eat it.
Exactly.
But I'm gonna still do it.
Okay,
Uh,
so why is it not hold on. Why is it not okay to do it? Just dance, like, just kind of try to rationalize it. Like, we're gonna have you talk like, just tell us what you feel, okay? Like, I'm not gonna pressure you, tell you how to live for a minute. I just want to have you explain to me why you feel that it is wrong.
Look, of course it's wrong to like kill an animal,
why?
but
Why?
why it's wrong? Because it has like life, and it's like saying like, why it's wrong to kill a human? It's pretty much the
Yeah,
same.
why is it wrong to kill a human?
Because a human has a family and has emotion and has a life, and you know why you want to.
They have so they have the ability to have a subjective experience, right?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the reason that vegans have issue with enslaving the word is exploiting, so but like using them as slaves, using them as products, using them as something to benefit us. This is why we have issue with that. We are not just creating issue just because we feel like it. I would much rather just be ignorant and just be like, oh, they just don't feel anything. I'd love to just be like able to just say, you know what, I'm going to McDonald's tomorrow. But I don't, because I know that I would be supplying the demand to use these sentient beings as commodities. What do you say to
But
that?
But we gotta do something. Like,
What?
it has to be done.
What do you mean?
Like, World War II has had to be done. If we
What?
had a World War II, like, let's talk about it. War is cruel. War is a cruel place, and we have to kill animals. That is true.
We have to.
What?
What do we have to kill them for?
We have to do that.
What
have
do we
to
have
do
to?
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what do we have to kill them for, please?
Because of the food.
Yeah, but you can
You
get
cannot
other
eat-
food. You know this, right?
Well, maybe I can, but not
Yeah.
everyone.
Then you don't have to. You don't have to.
Well, let's bring it down. Today, I don't know if you know it or not, but today is like Muslim Eid, and they
Yeah.
sacrifice a sheep to their god.
Yeah,
don't have to.
also don't have to do that.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
of
don't
course.
have to. Yeah. So your claim that we
Look,
have
I
to
have- I
was
have-
wrong, right?
No, they don't have to, because
Yeah.
like most of the food are going to waste. In the Saudi Arabia, like 10,000 sheep are going to die, and most of the food is going to waste. Nobody's going to eat them.
No. It's not about the waste. It's about the fact that animals have their own experience, and you are taking that experience away from them when you don't have to.
So
Yeah.
what is your opinion like?
No. Sorry.
What
First,
do you
please.
think-
No. First, please acknowledge that when you said we have to, that was wrong. Yes.
Look, I don't know where
Please
you're from,
acknowledge
but
that
where
that was
I'm
wrong.
From, look, where I'm from, I have to do that, because we don't have like the ability to be vegan or something.
You cannot eat rice. You don't have the ability to eat pasta. You cannot eat vegetables or lentils. You don't have the ability to do it.
Of course we are.
Yeah.
But
There you go. You know what the word have to means? Can you define the word have to for me, please? Or the concept? Right?
It's mean like we have to do it.
Yeah.
Like
So you can't define a word by the words themselves, right? So have to is like need, right? And need is
yeah.
like can't survive without.
There's no other option.
Yeah.
Have to to describe have to without saying the word would mean you have no other option other than to do said thing.
And that's incorrect, right? That's you don't have to. So you have options.
of course we have options.
There you go. So you don't have to kill animals and exploit animals, right?
Well, I'm not the one who's killing them.
Can you
I'm
please
just buying them.
acknowledge? Can you please acknowledge that we don't have to do it?
Look, I'm not the one who's killing them. They're all already dead.
Can you
when I'm
please
buying them.
acknowledge? You made the claim that we
So-
have to. Can you please acknowledge that we don't have to? Because you have
Okay,
other
we
options.
don't have
Yes.
to do that, but it's hard. It's hard to do that.
Yeah. You know,
Like,
it's also like
I have a friend. Who claimed to be a vegetarian for a year, and she's not a vegetarian anymore.
I don't know what that proves. That just
Why
proves
do
that
we
somebody
care?
stopped being vegetarian. That doesn't prove that it's hard, right? You're in a
That's
room
proof
with
that it's hard.
no.
I mean, if it wasn't
Well,
hard,
she could stop being vegetarian for all kinds of reasons, including most likely, right? In 84% of people, people stop doing something because of the pressure from outside, pressure from other people.
Well, it might be that because like, their family like bullied them or something.
Yeah, right. So who's in the wrong? The vegetarian girl who just wanted, I don't know, for whatever reason, to be vegetarian, maybe for animals, maybe not, or the people who bullied her. Who's in the wrong?
Of course, the people,
Yeah,
because I'm not gonna shove my opinion into your throat. and you're not gonna do the same to me.
Oh,
when I'm
nobody's
telling
shoving
you,
our
I'm gonna.
nobody's shoving our opinion into your throat. You actually acknowledged that it's wrong. It's morally wrong to kill animals and exploit animals. You acknowledged that,
of
right?
course it's.
So that's
Of
not our
course it's
opinion,
wrong.
that's
But-
your opinion. But then your opinion goes, yeah, I'm doing something terrible, but I'm not going to stop because it's a little hard, I think. I don't know it, but I think so. Right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So I
Could I-
described you correctly, your opinion?
So let me ask you one thing.
Let me, before you ask that question, because this is a pretty important thing. There's a huge misconception with vegans. Vegans don't try to force their opinions onto others. We help others develop their own opinions. We help people become independent individuals and independently decide to make the choice to no longer exploit animals. Because we acknowledge that we can't force people. It would be fucking phenomenal if the world would just be vegan, right? But we acknowledge that we can't just force you to go vegan. Even if I could physically force you, you could run away, you could just become a refuge to some other place and decide not to do it. It is much more effective if you make the decision yourself. So just keep that in mind. We're not trying to say you have to go vegan, but it is a moral obligation. We believe that it is a moral obligation.
And worse than
But we're
that, you
still-
believe it. Right, Tara? You believe it. You told us so. Were you lying?
I actually believe it, but I'm not gonna do it.
Do you think that's like a good way to live your life? You know you're doing something incredibly immoral, but you're not going to do anything about it because it's a little hard. Do you think that's like if
Well,
you were hold on, if you were the victim, if
Okay.
you were like locked in a cage somewhere and it's because other people like want something from your body, right? And you were locked in a cage somewhere and somebody came down to you and said, what do you think should happen? Would you say, yeah, people should stop wanting something from my body and do something else, right? Want something else? Or would you tell them, no, this is fine, I'm okay?
Well, you bring me in this conversation, and I think animals are different from people. People can think, animals cannot think. People have emotion, animals don't have emotion.
Sorry,
And I
you
think
acknowledge that animals can think and
you-
have emotions. You acknowledge
You
it.
were the one, you were the one who said, we did not tell you that they think or feel. You were the one who said it yourself. This is why I had you speak, is because it was you, the one who said it. We
So,
agree
you
on
think-
it.
Bro, emotion is different. Emotion,
No, we're gonna.
Like,
No,
I
you,
can talk,
you
you fuck-
already acknowledged that they have a subjective experience.
well, of course they have, but you
Yeah.
know, you see a baby, like a newborn baby, it doesn't have emotion. Animals are the same.
Sorry, excuse me, newborn babies don't have emotions? Oh, is it okay to kill newborn
no.
babies then? Is it okay to lock
Oh my God.
newborn babies in cages? Is that okay?
No, it's not okay because
Why?
newborn baby is
Tara.
gonna grow up and be an adult and have an
Tara,
emotion
Tara.
and have a life and have a career.
Tara, I have a very important question to you. Are you ready?
Yeah. Go
Why
ahead.
are you coping? You already acknowledged that what you're doing is immoral. Why are you now trying to make it moral?
Well, in my opinion, God created animals for us to use.
Can you answer my question? You already acknowledged that what you are doing is immoral. Why are you coping now?
Oh my God.
Why
It's
are you
like,
now inventing stuff and adding them into your argument when you already acknowledged that what you're doing is immoral? Why are you doing this?
Well,
You're essentially arguing with yourself.
Yeah.
Well, I know it's wrong, and
Yeah.
a lot of people know it's wrong,
Yeah.
but they're still doing it. Like a lot of people know
Can you
drinking
answer
alcohol
my
is wrong.
question? Why are you arguing with yourself? You already acknowledged that what you're doing is immoral. Why are you trying to make it just to justify it now? Your immorality. Why are you doing this?
Because I want to keep doing it. If I agree with you, I gotta be vegan, and I don't want to be vegan.
Thank you for
So-
acknowledging, right, that essentially you just don't want to change, and that's why you're trying to make it as if you're not doing something immoral. You know what this is called?
No, I
Yeah,
don't know.
this is yeah, this is called coping, but in like an actual language, it is called cognitive dissonance. You are not now trying to stay a good person, though acknowledging that you are not a good person. So you're not now trying to lie to yourself, basically, because you've acknowledged you're not a good person. Now you're trying to lie to yourself to make yourself a good person again. Maybe you
I
should
quickly
stop lying to yourself, huh?
I quickly want to
Maybe?
say something. I quickly want to say something. We know that the V word is a very scary V word, but you don't have to call yourself a V word. You know. We understand that the word vegan is so scary. People are scared of the word vegan. You can just not exploit animals, not abuse animals, and not call yourself a vegan. It's crazy, right? It's possible.
Yeah, that's true. Because I hate the vegan community. Like
Just don't
that
call yourself
vegan.
vegan. Just wait. We
Bro,
understand. We understand. Don't exploit animals. Don't abuse animals, and don't call yourself vegan. Wow. Can you do
Go
that?
watch.
Wait. Can you do that? Can you stop exploiting animals and not call yourself vegan?
I
Oh,
don't
do
think
you-
so.
You don't think so? So
No.
you want to
It's
abuse
like-
animals, right? You want to abuse animals.
No, I don't want to abuse anyone. I'm not
Okay, don't abuse
abusing
them.
anything.
Don't abuse them. Don't do it. Don't do it. Just don't do it.
Dude. Dude, let me tell you something. I'm not the one who's killing them. I'm just buying.
Yeah.
Yeah, and your money. What does your money tell the person who kills animals?
Keep doing it.
Oh my God, you're so smart! Holy shit! Holy shit! Wow, this guy is smart, but also like, supports animal abuse. Maybe
I just want to say there is something to admire. The way that you are dealing with this situation, there is something to admire. However, you already know that you should change.
I
You,
do
it's
my-
you already know that you yourself should change.
Is
And I
it a
know
matter of-
change.
Yeah, sorry,
The
Axel.
change is scary. Okay. But every person has that fear to change. Every person in the world has that. What will happen? How will this affect me? Every person has that in their head. But you only know how it will affect you if you change. You will never know how your life will become. You will never know how your life will become if you don't change. However, I could tell you how your life will become if you don't change. Your life will continue to support the thing that you do not agree with. And if you do change, your life will no longer continue to support the thing that you are against. And it is simple as that. There is no complication of what God told you. There is no complication of what other people tell you. Those are the simple facts. You will either continue to do something that you do not agree with, or you won't. And that's the thing with change. Once the noise is gone, once all those little complications that you're adding into your life, Those are the simplicities of it. It is a simple thing. It is not hard. It is not complicated. It is a very simple thing. You either do the thing that you don't like to do, or you don't do the thing that you don't like to do.
But what about the taste? It's so important.
Is it?
Do-
Yeah, of course it is.
Yeah, what's it important for? What's more important? You being a good person or you having tasty food?
Well, good person, in my opinion, doesn't.
Can you
Mean
answer
to
my
be
question?
vegan.
No, sorry.
You changing
Yeah.
the meaning of good person for me, but
Yeah, because you admitted
just-
that what you do is not a good deed. You admitted that you are not a good person. I'm not
I'm
putting
a good
anything
person,
in your
but
mind, right?
I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect, but I'm a good person.
Yeah, do you think good people, like, knowingly do immoral stuff?
Well, I believe good person is the one person who help humankind,
Can you answer my
not
question?
animals.
Can you answer my question? Do you think good people knowingly do immoral stuff?
They might do that.
Yeah, you think good people more knowingly do immoral stuff and remain to be good people? You think that?
Well, like think of the dog scenario again.
Yeah.
Do you think a good person kicks a dog?
Depends of what the dog did at first. Like if a dog is gonna attack you, you're gonna kick it.
Okay, what if it
That
makes
is-
him happy? What if it makes him happy? If he just
No,
makes him
of
happy.
course not. Of course not.
So that would be a bad
Right.
person, someone who kicks a dog.
Right. So your whole taste argument, right? Because of the taste, that makes you happy. The taste makes you happy. So to kill something just because it makes you happy, you acknowledge that that's not a good reason.
Well, that's not. But
There you
look,
go.
it's
So
so
again,
hard to.
Tara, why are you trying to lie to yourself? Can you answer this question, please? Why are you trying so hard?
Because it makes me feel good. That is
It makes you
obvious.
feel. Yeah, it makes you feel
Ignorance
good.
is bliss.
Yeah. It makes you feel good to lie to yourself that you are still a good person, although you just acknowledged that when somebody does something like that they are not a good person. You seem to be incredibly in tune with the goings on in your mind, which makes this even more frustrating because you're kind of smart. But for some reason, you choose like...
You're smarter than most people come on here, by the way.
Yeah.
Like most people are not as smart as you. Just to let you know.
Yeah. Sometimes smart people are like the best liars. They lie to themselves the best. And I think that's a kind of weird thing to do because if you recognize that you are not a good person, you should start being a good person instead of lying to yourself, telling yourself that you are a good person. That would be the better, more honest thing to do, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
But you know, there is a lot of like scenarios that we can talk about. Like, if you don't care about the Africans, you're not a good person. So you gotta donate like $10.
No. Sorry, are you paying for Africans to be killed or something?
No, I'm not
There
doing
you
that.
go.
But-
So it's not analogous, right? Because you are paying for animals to be exploited and slaughtered. Right? There is a difference between a virtue and an obligation when it comes to morality. When you are the one doing something wrong, it's your moral obligation to stop doing that wrong thing. When there is something wrong going on, but it's not because of you, it would be a virtue to help them out, right? But it's not a moral obligation anymore because you're not causing the wrong. In this case, you're causing the wrong, so please concentrate on that.
I'll be right in a sec.
See you later.
Coffee's
Take care.
telling my stomach. Coffee's telling my stomach to do something.
Right. Well, food for thought, Tara. Food for thought. I think you should stop lying to yourself. I think you should, I don't know, do the scary thing if it scares you, all right? Be brave. Stand up against atrocities.
I think you should. I think what she's trying to tell you is just talk to yourself. Like really talk to yourself about this. You've said what you need to say to us, but now you need to talk with yourself and really figure out what you want to do in your life because it's your life. And if you want to be on the side of immorality, that is up to you. But if you want to be on the side of morality, that is also up to you. It's your morality, not our morality, because you already distinguished between what is your morality and what is not your morality.
Yeah. Axel, by the way, heads up, my pronouns are they, them, but it's all right.
Okay.
Right, anybody else? We can maybe talk to somebody else and maybe Tara can continue listening or something.
Take care, guys.
Yeah, thank you, Tara. Noor, we talked to you yesterday, right, Noor?
Oh yeah, we talked I think yesterday or the day before.
Yeah. Can you like TLDR it for us? Can you remind us what we talked about and what the conclusion was?
Because you did say, I believe you said you were going to come back.
Come back and
Yeah.
do what?
Well, I'm still not vegan. Like I said, maybe I will come back and be vegan.
Sorry, I could not hear that. I could not understand what you said.
Well,
You're scratching it.
my internet not so good today. I was saying that I said before that I'll come back and might be vegan, but I'm still not. Maybe I might become vegetarian, but not fully vegan.
What would be the problem with going full vegan?
That's so like, trust me, it's so hard, so hard. I don't know how you are doing it, but like,
With great ease. You
It's
know
so
what was
hard.
hard? For the first 2 weeks to figure out what to eat. And then it stopped being hard. So do you think like it's what's harder, right? 2 weeks of learning curve for you, or the entire lives of animals whose lives you're taking away from them by paying for exploitation and killing of those animals? What's harder? What's do you think is like more substantially hard?
learning
It's
your
not as
voice
hard
is
as
writing
writing a
it
novel.
again.
Sorry. Discord.
She said, what is harder, to have 2 weeks of learning curve or to do something your whole life without changing?
Learning something new. Like,
Learning something for 2 weeks then is more difficult than to practice something your entire life.
practice something my entire life. That's like,
I'm not sure what
learning
your point
something
is.
for 2 weeks, I guess. Yeah. Guys, I just woke up. My mind's still not waking up.
All right. Well, take a minute then. Yeah, maybe when you wake up, you stop thinking that vegetarian is the moral option here. W, what's up?
I just want to point out, it's not like we're asking you to write a. It's not like we're asking you to write a novel.
Yeah.
It's pretty minor of what we're asking
Yeah.
once you think about it.
Yeah. It's kind of read a few recipes, and when you go to the supermarket, just reach your hand to a different product. Like, if people, how, like, I'm gonna become like one of those like right-wingers, like saying, how snowflakey are the new generation? How low the bar is for the hard things to do. Like, you see, guys, you go to school, you learn new things all the time. It would be so easy to like learn new things for like 2 weeks. And then you're a moral person in your own eyes again. How easy would that be? Jesus. I have a toothache. Must be veganism. Joking. Somebody might actually take me seriously and run with it.
Everything is because we're vegan.
Yeah.
Everything that happens to our lives is because we're vegan.
Yeah.
Like, if our life is successful, it's no. If it's successful, it's not because we're vegan. It's because we're lucky, or there's some higher being that's looking out for us.
Yeah.
But everything bad that happens to us is because we're vegan.
Introvert. Have we talked to you before? You want to talk to us?
I like their logo. I think.
It's tiny, so I don't know. Okay. Oh, somebody.
You got some pretty colors.
W asks, don't you think, post-mortem, that a plant-only diet doesn't provide enough nutrients and important micronutrients? No, I know that's not true. I know that it's not plant-only, it's plants and supplements. So plant-only diets that include supplements can provide all the nutrients that you need. That's why I, vegan for 10 years, on a plant-based diet for 10 years, I'm not only alive, I'm moving around, I'm lifting weights. My lab results are fucking amazing for people my age. Yeah, life is good. So yeah, I know that's not true. I know that plant-only plus supplement diets can be incredibly healthy and nutritious. A lot of nutrition is in plants anyways. So I don't know why people even ask that. It just must be like some kind of weird misconception. If you have like specific questions about specific nutrients, ask me out. I have a site here that I can employ where I have quite a few nutrients to talk about. So go on, you can ask. Oh, my tooth really starts to hurt. Jesus. I'm also in like a calorie deficit, so shit is not easy. What are these supplements made of, since only animal supplements provide these necessary nutrients? That's a misconception. So, for instance, let's take B12. B12 is made of, is produced by bacteria, basically. It's not produced by an animal. So you can either take your B12 from B12 that was created by bacteria in the gut of ruminant animals, in the colon of ruminant animals, or you can take bacteria that was created in a lab. right? Or take B12 that was created by bacteria in a lab. The latter is much more moral and is much cleaner, I would say, right? Don't have to, like, sully your plate with blood and shit. It's disgusting. So yeah, no, supplements are not made of, vegan supplements are not made of animal produce, I guess. Some supplements are, but we just avoid those. There are alternatives that are not animal made. So like, for instance, supplements of vitamin D can be either made out of this oil that is secreted by sheep wool, or it can be made out of this mushroom that was left in the sun. And like, I think it's called lichen or something. This mushroom that can absorb the sun, and then that mushroom is like dried and ground up. And there you go, D3 in vegan form. If you have any other questions, go on. You can ask. I can talk for hours, so somebody stop me, Jesus Christ. When I talk, my tooth doesn't hurt as much, though. I had this like really, really violent removal of a wisdom tooth. It was like a for real operation, like 2 hours. He was digging at that shit. So once in a while, it just starts hurting the area.
Love it when I'm with other people who talk a lot, because then I get to relieve myself from talking so much.
I know, I used to hang out exclusively with people who talk too much. And now I became one. Ah, shit.
Oh, man.
Bruh.
I actually don't like talking a whole lot, but like, it just kind of happens. You know, like the words just kind of slip out.
I'm not responsible for the words that slip out. It just happens. It's like divine intervention, Axel. Yeah.
No. I choose the words that I say, but like, I hate that, like that people entice. Like, I would rather just agree with somebody and not have to talk.
Yeah.
You know, but if I'm gonna disagree with somebody, then I'm going to choose to like if I hear something that
Yeah.
is like that I can enhance or that I disagree with, then I'm going to say something.
Yeah.
But I'd rather just, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. Like when I started my YouTube channel, it actually like I couldn't talk for longer than half an hour without my voice going and me like burning out from talking. But I just got used to it, and now I can talk for like 7 hours.
Yep. Professional yappers in the chat.
Professional
Let's go.
yappers, yeah. So W is asking, what of these supplements? Oh, they asked this. Do you think that a vegan diet is expensive compared to a regular diet? What if someone wanted to be vegan but couldn't afford this special supplementation? Well, supplementation is incredibly cheap, and vegan diets are cheaper than omnivorous diets. So whatever you save on a diet, W, you can just use supplementation in its stead, and it still would be cheaper. So if you look at my site that I'm sharing, right? So we have quite a lot of research on vegan diets, right? So in high income, and so this is one research in high income, upper middle income countries, dietary change interventions that incentivize adoption of healthy and sustainable diets can help consumers in those countries reduce cost, while at the same time contribute to fulfilling national climate change commitments, blah, blah, blah. So basically the result is that the more plant-based you go, the cheaper your diet becomes, right? This is a bit more specific, right, to the plant-based diets. So in fact, it says plant-based consumers are shown to spend less than all other consumers assessed, right? Because animal products are like incredible. Not only are they prevalent in omnivorous diets, they're also expensive, right? I was today in the meat aisle. Jesus Christ. Like, when I became independent, when I stopped living at my parents' house, and I would look at meat aisles, I would like, Jesus, I can't afford buying this shit, right? So I would live like on tuna and eggs, basically, right? And plants. But like, if you want flesh is incredibly expensive. And then we have like another research right here. So total food costs per day decreased in the vegan group by approximately 16% compared with no significant change in control group. And then you have like B12 that costs like $10 and you know, for 2 months or something like that, right? I don't know, I buy a multi-supplement, it's pretty cheap. I order it on iHerb, and it's so cheap that I have to like every time look for what else I can buy there, right? And I buy like in bulk, because otherwise I would have to pay for shipment and shit like that. So it's incredibly cheap, right? And then you have like another research, I don't know, this was in the US, I think, dietary patterns and the vegan diet is either on par with other diets or incredibly cheap, right? The omnivorous diets are the pescatarian diets and shit like that. They are the expensive ones. That's my TED talk on why veganism is not more expensive, actually. Right, maybe somebody else can talk for a second. It was so nice to listen. It was so educational. Thanks. Yeah, thank you, W. Thank you for stopping by. Don't be a stranger. Get a mic and get in here. We're going to question your morality as well. So, yeah, please come back if you want. You don't have to, but if you want. Axel, can you talk to somebody else? I need to pee. All right.
Ethical eater, are you vegan? Does anybody else have something they want to say? Stoop, how about you? Are you vegan?
I'm not a virgin.
There you go.
Wait, you say that again?
Yeah, I want to say something. I'm cooking tofu scramble.
Dude, make me some. Send it my way.
Dude, I actually make it super creamy, and it's like one of the best tofu scramble. Oh,
The first time I had tofu scramble, I didn't even make it myself. I have never made tofu scramble for myself, actually.
Oh.
Uh, it's the one dish that I haven't tried yet. I've gone for like the more I've really liked working with seitan more than tofu. I don't know why. Like seitan is like I feel more creative with seitan, which I know you can be creative with tofu and stuff. It's just but the first time I had it, it was really good, and like I was in Buffalo, New York, and it was the first year that I went vegan. Actually, that was okay. More people coming in. Is anybody here vegan?
Fuck nigga.
Oh my fucking god.
Back.
What about you, Sormac?
You couldn't find anybody to talk to. Jesus Christ, Axel. You failed me.
Dude, one of them is not a person.
All right.
Soup is not a person. Yeah, so they don't want to talk because they're not a person.
All right.
And then everybody else just left, and then Felix just wanted to. He wanted to talk about his tofu scramble.
Felix is a culinary genius. Okay. Well, I guess the
Look
content.
at that, dude.
Yeah, the content
Look-
is now Felix cooking.
Yeah, look at that, dude. Look at his mushroom cutting skills. Look at that.
Yeah, like the angled towards the fingers technique.
Those are some thin slices, though. You gotta give him some credit.
And now he angles it outside, like not towards the fingers. Yeah, good job, good job. What's up, hello, Ali? Oh, sorry, I'm talking to the wrong chat.
Holy Wally.
Yeah. You know,
Why doesn't he come on the chat? He should come on to the chat.
oh yeah, that voice. Have you ever heard Oluwale talk?
Yeah,
Shit.
yeah.
That would turn
I've known him.
everybody vegan in like a second. Oluwale is like wasted.
I've known Oli Wally for years.
I call him Buttermouth. Because his voice is like vegan butter, you know? And it comes out of his mouth, you know?
Oli Wally gets a simp.
He says, my patience is too short.
Oh, shut up, you pussy. Come on. Don't be a bitch.
Oh, yeah. Oh, seed oils. Don't do it, Felix. Don't do it. Ah, shit. There goes a healthy diet. More. Spill more. More. Ah, so satisfying.
Come on, Oli Wally, come on. Do it.
Seed oils.
We should give Oluwale a script to read out. And then... Oh, somebody says no response. How do you navigate unethical plant-based farming that exploits displacement of animals and labor exploitation? Somebody says in my chat. So, Poidil, the thing is, first of all, it's not inherent to the vegan foods, right? The plant-based farming. It's just something that happens right now. And it happens because on top of feeding 8 billion people, we also have to feed 80 billion animals or something like that. So a lot of the farming, plant farming is actually is how it is because we feed animals, because we have to feed animals whom then we kill and yeah. So most of the ethical implications, I'm gonna move Felix away and I'm gonna show my site for a second. So most of the ethical implications are actually on animal agriculture, and I can show that. So the environment. If you look at the environmental impacts of diets, so the animal foods and the foods that people interact with the most are the ones that have the biggest environmental impact. But to our conversation, right, it also uses the most amount of land, either through feed or through like actual habitation of animals, right, while providing the least amount of calories. So if you care about the animals who are like the unethical implications of plant-based farming, as you called it, if you care about that, going vegan is becomes an obligation, because this is not the site that I actually wanted to show. Maybe this, like land reduction, right? So if we all went plant-based at least, right, and not vegan, we would reduce the amount of crops that we need to grow by like 200 million hectares. So going vegan is the most ethical food production, even right now, even though I agree with you, some of the practices are unethical and I don't like them. But it's just something that can't be changed, as long as we also have to feed 80 odd billion animals annually. It just can't change right now. There you go. I hope that was, if you have more questions, put them in the chat. I suppose I'm addressing my own chat now while being in Discord. It's only vegans here.
Yeah, it has been a very unproductive day far.
V, does V stand for vegan? V. Oh, they left. V doesn't stand for vegan, I guess.
Oh my god.
Axel, do you have a social media?
I do. I haven't posted anything for a long time.
Okay.
The last time I posted, I was before I amputated my fingers, and then after I amputated my fingers, I stopped.
Oh, dude, that was you showing vegan gays your amputated fingers? That was you? I didn't remember that was you. Holy shit, bro.
Yeah.
Fuck. It's one of those things, right? I like on a daily basis, basically, not on a daily basis anymore, but used to be on a daily basis, that I saw like severed organs of people. But the amputation stuff is the thing that I'm like still like about shimmery about. I just don't want to see that shit. But yeah,
My bad.
No worries. It's one of my anxieties. It's one of my biggest anxieties, actually, that one day I'm gonna amputate something accidentally, right? And it's a weird thing because I actually went under a knife to partially amputate parts of my body. But this thing, it's the fingers. Bro, the fingers, like a leg or an arm. Oh man, that shit is scary.
It's because of the
Yeah,
vegan.
so
Felix
so
is
I
trying to say
thought
something.
of
I was just saying it's because of the vegan diet. That's why.
Yeah. It's not lifelong anxiety at all.
So I have some old outreach footage for a rodeo that was working on before I amputated my fingers. And so I've thought of going through and editing that to start releasing that, and then start releasing more stuff. But at the moment, I'm like, it would probably just be like Instagram stuff that I'm working on, where I still have a pretty good following.
Instagram, though, man, I'm about to give up on Instagram because it just fucking sucks, man. It's like,
Yeah.
it's just like the silo, the vegan silo. There's absolutely like no chance that somebody who isn't vegan or isn't like a troll would actually see your posts, or my posts at least, right? Maybe you cracked it. I couldn't crack it.
So how I got the following is terrible, because I just started posting the hand footage, uh, like, and like the hand progression on there, and then people started. It just blew up my Instagram. Um, and
Jesus Christ,
so
people suck. That's why they came to your fucking Instagram. Is because you showed gore of your severed fingers. Jesus.
and
Well,
so
that answers
don't
what
give
do I
me-
have to do for Instagram influence. That's kind of answer is.
And but don't get me wrong, like the community when I was doing that was super supportive. However, like nobody was vegan. So it was the first part of it, like when it first happened, I was like, well, this is kind of cool. And then I could start moving people to like being vegan. And then I was just like, I don't want my whole fame to come from me fucking. I don't want my whole growth to be because I cut my fingers. You know, like that's kind of fucking weird.
I mean,
I'm
use
fat.
what you can, I guess. I don't know. Oh, somebody says 1 out of 100 will always eat meat. What do you mean by that, Dickinson? And whom are you calling psychop? Like, I'm not understanding David Dickinson. If you could elaborate what you mean. Could be friendly fire right there.
Who's the psychopath? Is it?
Bro, severed fingers, Jesus. Damn. That's like my worst nightmare, literally. It's the thing that keeps me awake at night. Fuck. Thanks, Axel. Now I'm not gonna sleep for like a week.
I'm sorry, my life is a horror movie.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It is though.
Fuck, man. How did that happen? Please say it shortly. Don't elaborate too much.
No, it was because my work gave me improper PPE.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I hope they're paying for your life right now.
They didn't pay for my life, but they did pay for something. They don't really, in the eyes of the country, your fingers don't matter very much.
No. How do you support yourself right now?
Right now, I don't want to talk about right now.
Oh, no worries. No worries.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, sorry, I'm asking like incredibly fucking intimate questions while live streaming. Sorry, let's not do that. Good, don't do that. That's a bannable offense. Don't do that shit. That's a bannable offense. Okay, I guess I warned you. Vegan ban.
They kept throwing around the N-word too.
Noise pollution. There you go. I'm supposed to now write what's the reason that I'm banning somebody.
Oh.
What's this? What is this?
It's
What is
cucumber? I don't know. We can't see.
I'm trying to show you. Okay. This.
It's a courgette.
We call them courgettes.
I'm like iffy about courgettes. When I buy them, I cook them and it's fine, but I just don't want to buy them. I don't know.
This is my little fun area. We have onions, bananas, onions, sauces over here. We got sauces, beans, tomato, beans, the scoop, don't worry about it. Carrots, more sauces. And look at this jar of corn.
I actually have I still have some corn left, like corn on a cob. I just throw them in the like air fryer for like 7 minutes or 8 minutes. They come out delicious.
If you want something fun, get some broccoli and add some maple syrup glazing over them, and then throw them in the oven.
That sounds full of calories. I'm not gonna do that right now. I'm cutting right now. Sorry.
Dude, I'm so hyped about yesterday. The getting to almost to my 1 rep max. Like last week, my 1 rep max on push-ups was 140. And today or yesterday, I did 5 for 5 at 130 pounds. So tomorrow I'll be at doing my 1 rep max for a 5 for 5.
Oh, I got some news as well. Just random news. A friend of mine in America found grapes which taste like cotton candy.
It's like the pink ones that taste like cotton candies.
Oh, Axel, by the way, I don't think David Dickerson was making the claim that we are with the personality disorders. David, you really should clarify what you're doing here, because it's kind of hard to understand what you're saying.
Yeah, well, I just got it from the 1 out of 100 humans suffer from a personality disorder. So,
yeah, exactly what, David? We don't understand what you're trying to say.
are you saying that meat eaters have the disorder? Okay, now
bloodlust.
we get it.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know if it's
okay.
I don't know if we can make the claim that it's like a personality disorder, because it's like not recognized to be a personality disorder by the psychology establishments. So
It's definitely they are addicted, like lunatics, you know? They're highly manipulated and addicted lunatics.
yeah, maybe I'm just don't want to make like medical claims, or not medical, like psychological claims.
Check this out.
Ooh. Sarah, you're just asking to be like berated again about your spread of butter.
I thought it was funny how right after we were talking about manipulation, the the tarot person went exactly what I was saying towards the manipulation tactic of like where
Well, it's more
so
like
funny. It was so funny that they provided the perfect example of what I was saying.
well, it's more like I was actually thinking about the thing that I'm writing a script about, that it was like the cognitive dissonance, because when you have like cognitive dissonance, one of the ways to resolve it is by adding more cognitions to one of the like competing cognitions, right? So you're adding more reasons to the cognition to make it like bigger, stronger, or to make the other cognition, the dissonant cognition, smaller. So they were just like throwing shit.
Hand in hand.
Yeah. So yeah.
They go hand in hand.
Well, yeah. They were like lying to themselves and like couldn't say why. Well, they did say why. It's because they didn't. I didn't know what to answer them, right? When they said, well, I don't want to be vegan. And that's why I'm trying to convince myself that I don't have to, or something like that, right?
Right.
It's like, yeah, I'm lying. I know, I'm recognizing that I'm lying to myself. Not that now that you said it, I recognize I'm lying to myself, but it's just because I don't want to change. Oh, Jesus.
And it's so hard when it's talking to the young people, because like the young people, you have so much, like I get stumbled a little bit more when talking to the young people, because like I have so much hope for them, you know, where I feel like I need to be more careful with the young people, because like I actually have hope and I feel like I can motivate them. Where else the the like older people like can just let loose and be like, I don't have to be as much like as careful
Yeah, I
because
understand.
and so young people, it's always kind of. However, I find some like freedom in that because you have the freedom of creativity in that point.
Yeah. So, Luxi, what's up? Lucy, I guess we would read that. Am I correct?
All good. How about you?
How do you pronounce your name? Can you tell us, please?
It's a Chinese name, so it's pronounced like Luchi.
Luchi. Okay, that was close. Awesome. Are you vegan, Luchi?
No,
Why
no.
not? That's terrible. Why aren't you vegan?
I don't know, like I just enjoy the taste of meaty food.
Yeah. Do you think that's like a good justification to harm animals? Like, well, I enjoy the taste of the product that harms animals. Do you think that's a good justification,
No.
good reasons to do it?
No, I don't think it's a good reason.
Right. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So I think like, do you think that what we do to animals is like wrong?
I don't believe in wrong and right, to be honest.
Okay, well, however you say it, if you don't believe in wrong and right, do you think it's like
But
at least
I do
like an unjustified harm, even if it's not wrong somehow?
Yeah, kind of, but like I admire what you guys are doing.
Yeah, well,
Really
if
Well,
you,
but if you don't believe in right and wrong, why do you admire what we're doing?
I don't know, it's just a feeling that you guys are doing something that I can't do.
you can't.
Why can't you?
I don't know. I think it's hard, especially with the.
So you mean you don't want to do it? You don't mean that you can't. You can do it, right? It's just
To be honest, like probably not. I have like many things.
Well,
Like
hold on. You're
maybe-
backpedaling right now. Try
Mhm.
not to try not to backpedal. Just indulge me for a minute. Try not to backpedal because you said that you already told yourself that you can. You just don't want to. Okay? So try to just work on why you don't want to for a second. Why don't you want to? What makes it hard?
I don't know. I'm probably gonna think about it like more in my other years. Like, but right now, it's really hard to stick with like the vegan diet. I try to, but I don't know. It's hard.
what did you do
What
when you
makes it-
tried to? What happened? Like, what did you do? What did you change? How did you change it? Can you please give us more details?
Oh yeah, sure.
Mhm.
So I first like went like as a vegetarian, because like going fully vegan was like extremely hard, especially since I have like a celiac disease
Mhm.
where I can't eat like anything that has gluten.
Yeah.
So yeah, like that was one difficulty. Then I discovered that I also have like how do you call it? How do you call it? Like being allergic to milk and
Well, that's
yeah,
you're lactose intolerant.
lactose intolerant.
Okay, so with celiac, I can help you there. Celiac, like you don't need to have gluten. However, gluten is most people I would promote gluten to,
Mhm.
but you don't have to have gluten. There's soy, there's pea protein concentrate out there. Most places supply pea protein concentrate. Um, there is there's other forms of protein that you can get. You don't have to get gluten.
And where do you find those? If you don't mind asking.
Well, like tofu is soy.
Yeah, vegetable,
don't-
textured vegetable protein, right?
We
Yeah,
don't have
TVP.
two for,
Yeah.
we
I
don't
just-
have two for here.
So, Lucci,
Where,
here's the
where are you
thing.
from?
Lucci, here's the thing. I just know way too many people, like vegans with celiac, to say that it's like not possible.
It's possible, it's
Yeah.
really possible, but depends on the region. I think like where I live,
Where,
we don't have
where
like
you
that
from?
many products.
Where are
do
you
you
We're
from?
live?
really like lacking in products.
Where do you live? If you don't mind saying.
I live in North Africa, Morocco.
Oh my gosh. I know
So many
4
foods.
vegans. I know 4 vegans who live in Morocco.
Oh,
Yep. You know what? I will get in touch with one of them and I will bring them on this Discord. So I recommend you come back and she could
Mm.
help you become vegan.
no, like I would love to like I also like know some vegans here
Mm-hmm.
in Morocco, but they don't have like celiac disease nor well they don't need to deal with lactose because they don't eat milk either way.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Right.
So here's the
So-
thing, Lucci. I tagged you in the chat, right, with 2 things. So one of them is not specific to Morocco, and is how to go vegan with the celiac disease. And I have like excellent tips there. I like skimmed it. I read through it a little bit. And the other one is how to be gluten-free in Morocco. And it seems that there are a lot of like plant-based recommendations there. And surely you have like in Morocco like a gluten-free store. So you just go to the gluten-free store, right? Morocco is like an incredibly progressive country, I think. And you just go to a gluten-free... It's not?
Well, kind of. We're going
Yeah.
there, hopefully.
Well, of the region, let's just say it like that, right? And
Yeah.
is there a gluten-free store in where you are?
No, like there isn't that much. They sell like some products, but they are like really expensive compared to the non-gluten free.
Well, that's just gonna be celiac.
yeah.
That's just gonna be more expensive. That's just a given. Doesn't matter if you're vegan or not.
Yeah, it's just because
okay, yeah.
non
Yeah, sure.
it's just because gluten-free products are not as available, so they have to charge more.
Yeah, that really sucks to be honest.
Yeah.
What about you guys? Like, how did you like start your vegan journey?
I hate that word. Journey.
No, that's all right. Maybe I can say. So for like 2 years, since I was, maybe more than 2 years, since I was like 32 or 33, I was kind of convinced that I should be vegan, but I just like wasn't sure that it's survivable, right? For some reason, I just thought that like we really need animal products to survive. And I didn't really look into it because I, just didn't feel like it's that hard of a moral obligation. And one
Why
day, sorry?
Why did you? Yeah, I was about to ask you like, what made you like feel like that? Like,
Yeah.
what was like the reason?
Yeah. So I was working at the time, I was working on weekends for like extra money or in a restaurant of my friend. And it was a restaurant that's like sells like meat, cheese, like everything, right? All the foods, all the non-vegan foods, a lot of, so it's just like they don't even have like a proper vegan option there. And I was just standing in the kitchen at the end of the shift and I was like eating like pork dumplings, which was my favorite food back then. And a waitress came in, like another waitress, and she said, "Oh, did you see that cat outside? They're incredibly hurt." And I did see that cat outside before, and their back leg was his, I think, his back leg was like almost severed, and he was like walking, picking up his pelvis just to drag the leg around. It was like really, really miserable. And I was like, yeah, I saw the cat, but can you not talk to me right now? Because I'm eating, right? But she continued talking to me about this poor cat for whom I had like a lot of empathy. And all of a sudden, it's just like, it was like a bomb that exploded in my head. Like, I'm feeling so much empathy towards this animal outside, right, who's hurt. But I'm eating an animal that was hurt for me. I paid for this animal to be hurt. And I just like, and I still had some piece of meat in my mouth, so I just like swallowed that. And I like moved the plate away. And I've been vegan since then, because it's all of a sudden, it just dawned on me that I'm a fucking hypocrite, right? Because I care for this animal outside, but I don't care for the animals for whom I'm actually responsible hurting.
It's
you know?
like it's like you care for certain animals, but when it comes to the animals that you eat, you stop like caring, right?
Well, I didn't like fully realize that I was hurting somebody, right? It's just so like in the modern age, like especially where I am, I guess maybe in Morocco it's not as hidden, but it's like hidden away from us what animals go through, right? Like the farms are like in the middle of nowhere. And it's unlikely for you to see them. And also if you are like convinced that for some reason you like really need animal products, it becomes like even harder to sympathize, to empathize with animals. Because it becomes like you think it's necessary, right? So you don't even think about the animals, because who cares what happens to them? It's necessary for you to eat meat. Luckily, I was incredibly wrong, and you don't actually need animal products, and you can live, be successful and thrive without them. And actually, I would take the stronger claim: you can be healthier on a vegan diet.
Yeah, I believe in that. Like,
Yeah.
I think like I know so many vegetarian people, like compared to the vegan people here. Like I do know 1 or 2 vegan people, but they struggle a lot.
Struggle
here.
how?
What do they struggle with?
They struggle with the food. Like we don't have like so many varieties in the food. Like we have, yeah, that's.
Sorry,
we
can
don't
I
have, like,
ask a question, Lucci? Are they saying that they're struggling, or are you perceiving them to struggle?
No, I'm not like putting words on their mouth. They said that. They actually like said.
Hold on, how long have they been vegan? And who are they talking to that are vegan? And are they really vegan, or are they just plant-based? Like you have to, like,
No,
we
no,
would have to.
they're vegans. They're vegans. They're not like plant-based. I'm pretty sure of that because I think they stopped eating food because they care about animals, and it's not just about food. They don't wear animals like stuff that made from animals. They don't like to see animals like struggle in any way, like even jokingly, like yeah, they're fully vegan. I believe in that. But at the same time, well, I didn't ask them how many years they've been like in the vegan diet, but I think it was for a pretty long time, maybe like 5 years at least. And from what they told me that the hardest part was getting protein. So they said we eat like beans here, but it's not as easy. They have like to eat a lot of beans to reach like to fulfill their how do we say it? I'm sorry for my English.
No, you're doing
I'm
great.
trying to learn. Yeah. So yeah,
How
that's what they
is that a struggle? Beans have a lot of protein in them.
Yeah, like so like
struggle was
like
that the struggle was that they eat a lot. Like instead, for me, like for example, I have to eat like 2 times a day, and for like my friend, like she's 23 right now, and she has to eat like at least like 4 times a day.
Why? This
I
is so
don't know
weird.
why I didn't ask her.
Well, can you bring her here? We can maybe give her some tips. But that sounds like so weird. Why would somebody need to eat 4 times a day instead of like, okay, first of all, eating 2 times a day is kind of weird, right? Most people eat 3 times a day. But like, first of all, why would they need to eat 4 times a day instead of like 3 times a day? Because of the vegan diet somehow? And second, why is that a problem even? So you eat 4
Actually,
times a day. So
I feel like don't know. We love like if she will join with us.
yeah.
Maybe I'm gonna ask her like today evening if she's available in Discord. Maybe she can download it and join with us.
That sounds good.
She's like a sweet person. Like I'm pretty sure that you guys will love her, especially like since she's from the same community and she has like the same beliefs.
I would love to talk to sweet people. Yes, bring more vegans here. I want to talk to her. And if we can help her out somehow and like vicariously help you out, right? To become like aligned with your morals, since you already said that.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to like,
Yeah.
I would love to get help from you guys and, yeah, help you as well if I can do those by any way possible. I mean, except of money because I'm poor.
Well, it's actually like, I don't know, like specific to Morocco, but we have like research around the world and it's like cheaper to be vegan than not.
So I don't know if you said they've been vegan for a while. The issue with beans wouldn't be the it wouldn't be the protein that would be the issue. It would be calories.
Yeah.
Okay. Like that's probably why they have to eat so much. And that is a valid thing to be concerned about because people do assume like high fiber foods make you feel full faster. So people think that they're eating enough and then it turns out that they're not. However, that being said, I am sure that there is like foods that are more calorie dense, like avocados, stuff like that, that they probably might not be eating. Like, and that's really kind of what I would like to help them on, is that looking for calorie dense foods instead of like protein, because it seems like they got the protein down, like they have the idea that of beans having high protein.
Do you have like
and
a
other things.
certain Do you have like a certain diet that how do we call it? Like a dish each day, like how do we call it? I think it's a diet, yes. Do you have like a certain diet that you can share with me so I can like advise her to follow it for a better nutrition?
Well, I would need to talk to her about it, like it, because when it comes to diet plans, it's a very personal thing, and I need to get a lot more information before it's because it's very irresponsible to recommend a diet over a third party.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah. Because I'm assuming you don't know her whole life. You don't know like her whole so it's very irresponsible to recommend a diet over a third party.
There seems to be perhaps not textured vegetable protein. I can't find it in Morocco. She might need to order it. So
She may need what?
order it
couldn't hear you.
online, just like order it in bulk online. Luckily, it's incredibly light, so it would like not cost as much if she orders like a lot of it. And it's like it's dry food, so it can be in a cupboard for literal years and years and years. So she can like order textured vegetable protein. I think has like 70 grams of protein per like 100 calories or some shit like that. So incredibly dense in protein and incredibly light in calories. That's why I love it. That shit.
Yeah. Also, like I was saying, avocados are great for calories and fats, because we still need some fat, right?
Yeah.
And so eating avocados is great to get like, and you don't, if you don't like the taste for avocados or the texture, you can always put avocados and mix it in with things that you do like. You don't have to have just plain avocados. Um, and that would add calories. There's other foods, and I just looked it up. Like you guys already are able to grow avocados within Morocco.
Yeah, we
So
can.
yeah. Um, so yeah, like for you specifically, since you can't have like gluten and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Let's see. Do you guys have soy? Like let's see.
Like soy sauce?
Like soy
Uh,
chunks or tofu. Tofu?
No,
a few.
we don't have tofu.
Tofu in Morocco price. Maybe we can find some somewhere. Fuck, that would suck if you need to like import tofu and shit. That would really suck.
But you do grow soybean, right? So soybeans, you don't necessarily need tofu, but like soybeans in general are really, really high in protein. And you would just need to add a few other things to get a complete protein. But even if you don't have a complete protein, if you get your calorie intake and you get the proper amount of like protein, your body will like a lot of like people misunderstand. You don't need to get all your vitamins and stuff through intake. Your body does create a lot of vitamins on its own.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, when it comes to getting like the full nutritions, like almost nobody can get them all in one diet. Like we all lack some vitamins, some stuffs in our bodies, but our body can manage it.
Right, exactly.
Sorry, I might be wrong, but like Luci, if you have celiac, I might be wrong, right? Take it with a grain of salt. But you might
Okay.
want to, you might need to take like a multi-supplement anyways, because like you probably have like some absorption issues, right?
Actually, like to be honest with you, like I have never take any supplements since I was like 10 years old. So yeah, like I'm still doing okay without like supplements.
Well,
But
okay.
it's advised. Yeah, but I
Yeah.
agree with you. Like it's advisable to have like some supplements to add to your diet as a gluten-free.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
as a
So like just don't go on feelings based on feelings. Our feelings are great, they're amazing, but they're not very good at getting us into like staying in good health. You know what I mean? Because my feelings tell me that I really need a cigarette right now, despite like quitting smoking like 4 years ago. That doesn't mean it's good for me, right?
Yeah, I
So
agree with you.
Um,
No, you're doing great. Like you're turning like you're adding like a lot of green stuff. Well, your whole diet is green basically because you're vegan. You're cutting like smoke. Yeah, you're doing great. Amazing. Do you drink?
look, I found yuba in Morocco. If there is yuba, there must be tofu. Come on,
Where
man.
is it? I like what?
Yuba is like
Is it
tofu
like
skin. It's like when they boil the soy, they collect the protein skin on top. It's like incredibly protein dense. And it's delicious because it's like soaks up like the liquids, right? It's also dehydrated, so you can soak it up with like liquids of tasty stuff, like I don't know, like vegan chicken flavor soup or something like that. And it's delicious, incredibly protein rich. And yeah, you have
Oh,
it in Morocco. Yuba, it's called.
and it
Can you like
says
send me the-
tofu, a rich protein food derived from soybeans, is not a traditional ingredient in Morocco cuisine. Morocco cuisine is primarily focused on meat, seafood, and grains cuisines, and with heavy emphasis on spices and herbs. While tofu itself is not stable, it's not a staple. Sorry, I misread that.
Yeah.
There was an there are ways to incorporate it into Moroccan inspired dishes or enjoy alongside Moroccan food.
Well, that
So
sounds interesting. I didn't know about that. Let me check.
yeah.
Mhm.
Also, I did found some tofu in Morocco, but it looks weird. Why the fuck would tofu be in a jar? For the love of God. So
I don't think
Yeah.
I don't think like even those are available like a lot because I haven't seen them in any store so far. Maybe it's like in some specific stores that they sell like um how do we call them? Products from other countries.
Yeah, like international product. Yeah, maybe.
Oh,
Like, yeah,
you guys also have a huge amount of olives. It says here. Olives are freaking amazing. They are super nutrient dense. If you They are also a healthy fat and high calorie. So if you eat a lot of olives, and they're not very filling, so you could add like olives into your diet and like with every meal, and you will get um
Mm-hmm.
uh like olives are great. They're just amazing. So if you guys have
Yeah,
a highlight of
we have a lot of we have like a lot of olives, and we're really famous by making like olive oils. And like we really add olive oils in almost every dish that we have here. Um, yeah. By the way, like I have a question
Mhm.
that I'm curious about, but it's like a little bit out of this topic, which is like, do you guys have like pets, right?
I
Cats
don't.
or dogs?
I
How do you
don't.
how do you,
Yeah, but
uh-huh.
no, I don't. But like, yeah, ask the question.
Okay. So like the question is, how do you guys like feel about the meat that you buy from like the stores for the animals? Like, do you feel that this is something like ethical?
Axel, you wanna? I don't know. If anybody has like companion animals here? If not, I can answer from my side. Whichever you prefer, guys.
You go.
Yeah, okay. So, here's the thing, right? I would first worry about my own life, my own nutrition before I would worry about pets. And here's why. It would actually be like incredibly more expensive to feed your pets like a plant-based diet. It's possible they would be very healthy on it, right? If it's a well-formulated plant-based diet. But it would be a little expensive for sure. I would also worry about myself because before I worry about my pets, because
I'm gonna get a Wally on this because he can actually provide this. He can actually help with this because he has so many cats.
all right. But like, so the like cat food and dog food, the meat they contain, like in case of dog food, it's like for 4% quote unquote meat, what I call is like basically just like trimmings from the slaughterhouse floor. So like the lowest quality meats, the meats that otherwise like would be like thrown out because they are not suitable for human consumption. So it's like a byproduct. I would still worry about that because like the slaughterhouses do get money for it, or the farmers do get money for it. But it's like not as much, not as direct immorality as for paying for the actual animal to be slaughtered for you, right?
And then you could. So I was just asking Wally, and he says that like he would come on next time, but you can just order online like Benevo. That's like if you have a cat, that's like they provide cat food, dog food. and stuff like that. And they do order, I think, to like they probably since it's in the UK, they probably would send food to the like Morocco. Because it's
Oh,
based in
okay, I
the
get
UK.
it. I get it. Yeah, I get it. I mean, that's enlightening.
Yeah.
All right, I have another question then.
That's-
Yeah. So the question is, for like vegans, who do you think, who are you like against more? Are you like against the slaughter of animals, or like animals dying in general?
What do you
Could you
mean by that?
rephrase that? Yeah. Could you rephrase that question? It's kind of a hard question to answer.
Okay, so what I'm trying to say is like, are you like against the slaughter of animals, like raising animals just to be food, like raising them in a really difficult environments just so they can end up like dying in the worst way possible?
Mhm.
Or are you like against animals dying in general? Like, what do you think about for example, like how do we call it? Like for example, like fishes eating another fish, or like or like
Oh,
I get it.
okay.
yeah.
Axel, you want to go first?
Yeah, so I'm definitely against the human, like it's definitely the human exploitation that is the issue. The like to worry about other animals is not a vegan thing. Like that is up for people to decide for themselves, and like vegans often do have conversation about this amongst themselves. However, it is not a vegan thing. Like when it comes to veganism, that is a human endeavor. So we're definitely worried about what humans do to animals more than what other animals do to other animals.
I would
Alright.
somewhat agree. I would say that, yeah, definitely like definitionally on most definitions of veganism. So it's the exploitation of animals by humans. That's the main vegan issue. I would say like that I think if we can stop predation, we should. I think we should intervene in nature if possible. Right, but and I would say that it's a belief that I derived from my vegan ethics. So I would say it's correlative to my vegan ethics, but I guess like on most definition, it's not part of the vegan ethics, I guess.
Right,
Okay.
yeah. So like I might find a vegan who doesn't support like killing a lion to save a gazelle, right? And I might disagree with them heavily,
Mhm.
but that doesn't mean that they're no longer vegan. Like,
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah, it's like one vegan to another vegan, they can have like different morals when it comes to these stuff.
Yeah, sure.
Right?
We're
Right,
like separate
exactly.
people. We're not like a cult or something. Each
Okay.
has their own like thoughts and feelings and logic about stuff, right?
Yeah, it's understandable. I mean, I can agree with that. But okay, here is an example. For example, like I do believe that for chicken, when they get their eggs, like they force them to have like a lot of eggs, right?
Well,
Right.
it's that genetically, they're like selectively
They're bred.
bred for that. Yeah. And also,
Okay.
yeah, there is also like an intervention that happens in some farms. So maybe in most farms, I don't know, where they like starve the chicken for 48 hours or put them in complete darkness for 48 hours to induce stress so that
Okay.
the egg production is induced. Yeah.
Okay, so I do believe that that's happened with eggs, with milks, with the that's why vegans don't like to eat eggs, don't like to eat milks, because the way they get milks and they get eggs is in a harmful way into animals.
Well, not
Right.
necessarily. No, that's not the only thing. The main thing is that it's exploitation. Let me paint a picture to you, Lucci. So let's say I breed into existence, right? So they only exist because I bred them into existence. A bunch of women, and I put them in my, I don't know, like backyard or something. They can't live, but basically they have like some space of their own, right? And I impregnate them. And I even let them keep the baby, and then I like milk them, the women, right? Because I want the milk. I would say that's immoral, even if they have like really nice lives and they are not tortured in any way, because the only reason they even exist is for me to exploit them, right? Like, even if I grab them from the street and I say, yeah, that's like, and I gave them good lives or something like that, it would be exploitation, because the only thing I want from them is something that their body produces. That's why I impregnated them, right? That's why they're around. And once they can't produce milk anymore, I'm gonna kill them, basically, right? So exploitation always, even if it doesn't lead to torture, which is, it almost always does anyways, right? But even if it's like, we paint a fairy tale where a farm is like really nice and animals have really nice lives, they're never tortured, right? It's the fact that we are exploiting them is the moral problem, right? Because they exist only for us and we don't consider them as individuals and we don't give them a choice, basically.
I get it.
Yeah.
But like at the same time, don't you think like it's kind of a beneficial relationship where you can like create them a safe zone where they can like eat food without worrying about other predators around them?
That would, yeah, I can answer that. So that works in theory, but that would have to imply that the animal was wild in the first place. Because if they are bred into this world, right, you're not providing them, you are forcing them to be in the world. Does that make sense?
I get it, yeah. I totally
So
understand
it's
that.
yeah, so it's not a mutual benefit at that point because they don't have the choice to be, they don't have the option whether to be like, hey, I really would rather not live in the wild. They don't have the choice to decipher whether they want to live in the wild or not because they were bred by you. So they look to you for guidance. They don't look to because they were artificially brought into the world, like domesticated animals. So when it comes to domesticated animals, they look to even to their parents have looked to us. So it's like a chain. We're like we're like almost like the dictator of what their life is, right? So they look to us. So they don't really have the choice. They don't really have the option. It's kind of like breeding a child, right? A child doesn't really have the freedom to decide their life until they're an adult and they're shown options. And then once those options are provided, then they have the choice to what their life will be. Chickens don't have that option.
Yeah, they literally don't have a choice. People say, well, Wagyu beef, right? The way it's produced. Animals are literally treated like royalty. They get massages every day. Well, guess what? They're getting massages every day. Well, first of all, whether they want it or not, right? They don't have the choice they're individuals. Some of them might not want a fucking massage, right? But they don't get a choice in it because they are there to produce, right? And they can't leave or anything like that, right? They have no choice in the matter at all. How is that fucking, how is that moral? That's immediately exploitation. Because we never think about their best interest in this scenario. Everything that is done to them is done to produce a product. And that's...
Yeah, I'm trying to grab. I'm still like trying to grab my head into this because
Sure.
it's a kind of like a new idea to me.
Yeah.
But isn't that like lead to how can I say it? That the how do we say it? Like the highest level of being a vegan, like or like the top goal for being a vegan is for humans to not include themselves with animals at all, right?
Well, not really. Like, if there is a cow who in dire need of having them needs met, right? And you want to adopt that cow into your family, and you are committed to taking care of them and thinking of their best interest, that's you like adopted a child into your life, right? And that's moral. That's the most moral thing, right? When somebody is in dire need and you're willing to spend your time, spend your effort, and spend money, frankly, to take care of that individual, that's vegan, that's moral, right? It's when we bring animals or take animals out of nature even only to get something from them, right? Because hunters don't get a pass there either. They kill animals so that they could eat their corpse. That's exploitation as well.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
Well, what can I say? I don't have any other questions. So thank you guys for like your time and your effort to make me like understand this perspective.
Sure.
And yeah, hopefully like maybe one day like I'm gonna be one of you too. Who knows?
You should be, though. It sounds like it.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
well, I wouldn't like lie to you guys and tell you that okay, right now I'm vegan and
Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah,
like
sure.
stop everything. Like I think that people take times to change, even when we try to make them understand. But yeah,
As
that's
somebody who did take time, because I didn't go vegan right away, you were asking about like how we went vegan. I guess before you go, I'll give a brief explanation of how I went vegan. So
Yeah,
the
go
first
ahead.
time I heard, the first time I heard about Okay. Hey, respect, just give us a second, my guy. Like he's about to leave.
Are you vegan? Are you vegan?
Respect,
Hold
give
on.
us a second to finish this conversation and we'll be right back with you, okay? Just give us a second.
Shut the fuck up!
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I'm just gonna ban you. That's all right. Oh, they just left.
okay.
That's fine.
So anyway, the first time I heard about vegan, the word vegan and stuff like that was like when I was a kid, but I never knew what it was. I just thought it was like like to be honest, I thought it was just something to make fun of. Because it was on a comedy movie. And then the first time that I was actually ever introduced to the idea of vegan was at a music festival, and it was a group called PETA that started doing it, and the person who was doing the outreach was not doing a very good job. She was just trying to touch on the taste of it and like what is like she only told us what was happening. She only talked to us about the taste of the food, like, and so like I didn't really get like she left a lot of room for me to be a troll and just like not do anything. And sure enough, I was being a troll, but she didn't touch about ethics or anything. So I still didn't know nothing about what veganism was. in her defense, she was young. You know, I was young, and that's the whole point that they sent people out to the music videos or festivals, is to have young people interact with young people. However, she planted a seed in my head, and 2 years down the road, I was like, well, let's just try it just for fun, and with my ex-fiance. And then like I just did the diet. I was just plant-based. I didn't know what vegan really was, like I said. And then I did it terribly. I just ate a bunch of salads. Don't get me wrong, they were really good salads, but like super expensive because it was super low calorie. I had to spend hours and hours um, making these super elaborate salads, and it was just super expensive. So I ended up going back to just a regular standard American diet. And then once I started becoming older into adulthood, I started looking into like veganism and to find out what it really is. And then I stumbled upon like Vegan Gains and other vegan activists. And then I started to see the individual. And that's really kind of what, once I started to see the individual and their perspective, because like you see what happens to animals in slaughterhouses, and like that didn't really entice me to go vegan when I saw just the whole group as a whole, right? I didn't think of the individual though. And then once I started thinking of the individual, that was the light bulb in my head being like, oh, I'm an individual, and my life has been a huge amount of suffering, and I would hate for any other individual to feel that, right? And so I just made that logical connection that like if they are an individual and I could acknowledge that they are an individual, there is no moral like stance that I could make to not go vegan. And so I just recommend that you kind of, because you're thinking of yourself as an individual, and that's fantastic. You know, that's the first step. You have to think of yourself as an individual and acknowledge that you are an individual. But then you have to realize that others are individuals too, and their individuality doesn't, like, it isn't less than your sensory pleasure. You know, like your sensory pleasure isn't more important than their life and their individuality.
I understand. I understand.
Yeah. Anyway, man, you have a good day.
All right, thank you so much for your time again. And it was a pleasure talking to you. Like really, really.
Yeah. You too, Luci.
Yeah.
Remember that you maybe was gonna ask your lovely vegan friend to come and talk to us. Maybe
Yes,
we
of
can help.
course, yeah. Of course, like I think like if she agree with that, because I don't think she used Discord that much, but if she agree with that, like we will be here again, maybe tomorrow at night or yeah, this week. Who knows?
Awesome.
And yeah, have a good day.
Yeah,
Enjoy
you too, Luci.
enjoy the rest of the conversation, and yeah, bye bye.
Bye.
Peace out. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Stretched out.
Jasmine, what's up?
Hey, what's up?
Whoa, that noise pollution is crazy. Yeah, your mic is kind of harsh. I'm sorry, Jasmine. I'm so sorry. Elias, what's up?
Let's see where that looks like they're from, like some winter country. I'm trying to see their background, Elias's background.
Oh, the PFP. why in the Discord app the control scroll doesn't work to zoom in. I don't get it. It's just bad design. Oh man. My toothache became a headache. I think I'm a bit dehydrated. I think that's what's happening. I'm gonna...
Dude, hydration, hydration, hydration.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get a glass of water. 1 sec.
And, speaking of which, what is your guys' favorite beverage? This goes for the YouTube chat as well.
Beverage. That's a good question.
Yes. For me, it's water. Nothing trumps water.
I don't know. I actually like a cup of cocoa, I guess, like with cocoa powder. Just with water, and the sweetener is pretty nice. Coffee is also nice with soy milk. Yeah.
But like, okay, so I get those, but like, if you had to choose between drinking nothing but what you said, right, versus only drinking water, are you gonna choose that or water?
I'm gonna choose that. I'm gonna choose the coffee and the... I
Yeah,
drink like a barley drink. I will choose that. 100%. I hate water.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't dislike it, but I think I don't drink as much like pure water, I believe, unless I'm working out for some reason. I actually drink a lot of Coke Zero as well. So, yeah, I don't know. It's maybe not such a good habit, but yeah, I don't think that Zero is necessarily a bad
Oh, it
thing.
fucks
I
up
mean,
my teeth. Otherwise, I would drink that
Yeah,
shit
yeah.
all day.
Yeah. Apart from the teeth, yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I
My-
know Vegan Gains, Perry Coke Zero is his, like,
Yeah.
that is his religion.
yeah, I prefer
Yeah.
Pepsi Zero. You can
Well, I
commence
drink both.
the war.
I don't care. I drink both, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck.
My favorite
my
soft
what-
drink is root beer, though. I love root beer.
Yeah, I don't mind. root
Whatever's
beer.
on
I like
discount, I will get it. I don't care. I will drink like Zero without caffeine, with caffeine, I don't give a fuck. Cherry, also nice. I mean, not too bad though. But I think Pepsi's a bit sweeter, isn't it? Like the aftertaste is a bit
Yeah,
takes a bit longer.
yeah. Fun fact, Dr. Pepper is the oldest out of the soft drink like brands, like the big soft drink brands. Dr. Pepper is the oldest one.
Really, older than Coke? Wasn't Coke like a
Yep.
medieval something?
Oh, yeah. Dr. Pepper is quite a bit older than Coke.
All right. I'll trust you on that. I hope you don't disappoint. I hope you're not feeding me disinformation.
No, you can. I can provide. I will provide information.
Oh, you can provide evidence
Oh.
for your claim, Axel.
I will use the powerful tool of Google to provide information.
Right. Oh, W is back. What's up, W? Oh, man. Oh, fuck, I'm tired again. Sleep is like really shit lately. Right, think.
Yes, Dr. Pepper is older than Coke. Dr. Pepper was created in 1985 or 1885, sorry.
Yeah.
And then while Coca-Cola was created in 1886. So it's a year difference.
What's up, Emma? How are you doing? Oh man, I think I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna bail
Yeah.
on this. I might come back later. I think maybe Vegan Stone Lady would like to do some outreach in my evening, morning. So we might come back, but right now, I think.
Does she do her outreach here, or does she like stream?
Well, she usually streams on TikTok, but we'll see. Maybe we can we've been trying to arrange that we do it together in Discord. She's been here before, but we'll see what happens.
Okay, sounds good.
See you later. Bye. Yeah, guys, thank you for tuning in. All 55 of you, Jesus Christ. Last questions if you want in the chat. Last propositions in the chat. If you want, you can write bacon, if that's what you fancy to do. Because no way there are 55 vegans in here. It's just nothing. Such a thing just doesn't happen. Is it mandatory to like the stream? Yes, it's fucking... If you don't like the stream, seriously, you're gonna have to repent for eons. Thank you, Tone. Vegan bacon. Right, guys, thank you for joining me. I'm gonna do something for tomorrow. We'll see what happens. See you next time. Bye.